there's nothing I can do. They honored the code. Long as they would, those who didn't honor the code got caught. Those who honored the code didn't get caught, so they can't be punished. So Mary Bear know what I'm talking about. Sitting over there with her mouth on the floor when she hear this, because she's gonna be listening, because they're gonna have her. Barry, he's on. You need to listen to what he's saying. She know what the fuck I am. She know who she paid. She know who she paid, who she used to pay him. She know I know, because I'm telling her I know. I know her personal secrets. I know about her uncles, or uncle, but he ain't really her uncle. I don't even think he related to her in real life. But I know what he did to her to fuck her brain up. I know all that dirt. I ain't here for that. That's not the point. The point is that the worker need to be made whole. And there's no sense in sending people to spend half of their life in the factory. Like Doug can't even fucking walk, but he can't retire yet. He can't fucking walk, but he can't retire yet because they fucked him out of so much of his money. We can blame it on Doug and say it was bad investment, but had they been paying him right, he wouldn't even needed to make an investment. Y'all don't get it. So when y'all wake up from the shock of ignorance in the depths of foolishness and realize that I'm the only person that's going to get y'all a reasonable pay rate with reasonable benefits according to the struggle, because I went through it. I know what y'all deal with. You know? Deal with it. The psych report is available. Go ask Barb to call me. And then we can take it from there and we can make something happen. Now, I'm going to wrap this up. And I'm going to watch the ridicule as it unfolds in the local. But y'all should wake y'all ass up and get y'all money. That's what y'all should do. Because if they're going to keep oppressing people, I'm going to tear this motherfucker up. I got the armies of heaven and hell backing me on this one. The oppressive regime falls on my watch. And y'all can be part of the problem or the solution. But I guarantee you the problem will be cleaned up and put in the trash correctly. Right? So don't believe me. Check it out. Investigate. Do your own research. Determine if I was telling you what was correct. Understand the chess game that's being played at the corporate level that you have no clue is being played. I'm the showstopper, the main event, the deadline. I'm the motherfucking finish line they can't cross. When it comes to motherfucking deal with me, they don't know what to do. They all scared because they don't know if I'm going to send their ass to the depths of hell or motherfucking reward them, and they don't know which one they expect because they don't know how much of their dirt is actually held against them. And I ain't telling them. But I'm telling you, working people, you good people with the good heart that don't want to get the excess shit, that's not in it for the entitlement and the greed, y'all can get what y'all earn. Y'all got a right to that. And I will deny nobody what they rightfully deserve from work and suffering. You earn that. You got that coming. But if you don't come get it, I can't make you take it. That's just the way it is. So y'all can either unite or crumble. It really don't matter to me because I'm going to get mine. Get yours. And with that, I say peace, people. It's tripping. Won't let me read. I got the... It'll clear up in a minute. I'm trying to see these questions. My computer won't cooperate. It might be Facebook, might not be my computer, because Facebook always doing something to sabotage the show. Yeah. So anyway, so the racism was used to weaponize humans to oppress other humans. And then
in order to keep their hands clean, the humans that they use as the weapon would be turned into the victims of the world by being annihilated because of their belief system in superiority. They did it all. They've been doing it in our face for the last 100 years. They did it with Hitler. They did it with Chairman Mao. Even though they didn't all use it as a skin, they showed you how the mechanism worked. When the Bolshevik Revolution, the same mechanism is at play. None of it has changed. They didn't even adapt the strategy. They only got 32 degrees of knowledge, and that's not very much. If we decide to use 35 degrees of knowledge, they in trouble. Not 360. We got to use God knowledge. We just use some 3 degrees higher than them. They're stuck. If they've been holding us in place with 32 degrees by keeping us at 0, imagine what we can do just by having 35 degrees of knowledge. 30, 40, 42 degrees. When we're looking at the whole problem, then we can understand the solution better. But when we're only looking at part of the problem, and we don't really see where's the source. If order to find out why you failed and how you got in that condition, or in order to get out of the condition, you got to know how you got into the condition. You got to know where your strengths were, and what's being kept from you. When you realize that the only thing really being kept from black, they give us all the guns. They give us guns, but what they don't want us to have. They don't want us to have congregations of people talking about indigenous things. Why? They give us guns. We can even get grenades and grenade launchers in the hood. But when we start talking about the Loas and the Obey and the Santeria, they start getting all upset and jacked out of shape. No, we need to be asking, why would they give us guns, but they don't want us talking about that stuff? And they don't want us talking about the Haitian Revolution openly amongst ourselves in public. Why? What is they telling us? What's more powerful than them bullets then? There's got to be something there that they give you a gun, different calibers. They give you the guns. They give you a whole stockpile of firearms. All they do is lock you up. But when you start talking about your indigenous practices of power, now they start getting nervous. That's what we need to be trying to figure out. Right? Why is that taking place? What is life telling me about that concept? You know. Hey, Tina. Getting a little bit of... Okay. I might be able to see y'all questions now. So, they told us that Irish people can't be properly psychoanalyzed. You know what, India? That's not going to be hard for you to figure out, but you have to go through a couple of practices and you'll be able to find out who you was in your past life. Which information, Miss Meadows? Hey, Becky Stryker, Tina Nathan, Portia. Okay, and the whole universe and the people in it is just a mental creation. Okay. Now, I've been hearing this, and let's just deal with this. The whole universe and everything we see is a mental creation. I want you to get up and run through that mental wall fast as you can and see if you come out on the other side of that mental creation. And so they can stop telling me that. It's a figment of your imagination. Somebody swat you across the face with a 2x4. Don't worry about it. It's just all a construct of the man. The man make it real. But that shit ain't gonna stop your ass from bleeding, knowing that. So it's not so much of whether it's a projection of the mind in 3D. That's not the bigger concern. The bigger concern is if it is a projection of the mind in 3D, how can you control it? How can you walk through that wall without being stopped by the laws of physics, by the law of density? You can't escape that mental projection that they call the law of density. So if you try to run through that wall gonna smack you back on your ass. So while they telling you that, they not really telling you what they mean. They leading you in a slanted direction of view to slightly confuse you, to keep you from seeing something. What the fuck they hide? That's what you need to be trying to figure out when they tell you that it's all a projection of the mind. We all, God living the reality is me. Okay, if you God living the reality is you, do some God shit in the reality you are in as you. Let me see you do some God shit. I mean, that's all I want to see. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with what you're saying. I'm just, I mean, you said you was God experiencing life as a human. And in order for you to say you God and mean that shit, you have to realize yourself as God, which means you went through an internal alchemical process of development that was put on Biggie case was the same cop, Russell Poole, that blew the Iran-Contra out the water.
Wow.
Caught the CIA in South Central LA, and that's how he got to be called LA's top cop. That's why they gave him Biggie case, because he was LA's top cop.
Wow, that makes sense. I'm gonna do a documentary on Big Meech and how the CIA really was, they knew who he was. They really was mad that really the killer clowns really took him down, and he didn't even tell on them boys. He didn't even tell on the Alphabet boys. He took the rap and took 30. Go ahead.
He wasn't in there to tell.
Go ahead.
Big Meech is he's from a certain area that teach guys a certain way to move a certain way, right? He need to take the silver lining out of this sewer drain, and then he got to figure out how to apply it to his life mission. Teach these boys how to live with this money without killing each other all the time. You got notorious groups like YBI had infighting. You had the Pony Down, they had infighting. Best friends, they started killing each other. So he looking at this growing up, and he was like, ain't none of the OGs telling these guys it's enough money for all of us to get rich if we move in a certain way. If we understand that this money, don't let it go to your head, because they could take it at a moment's notice, right? But while we got it, this is how we gonna live. They don't never go into all of the how he was getting people off the street, dudes that was 14, 15, 16, 17, runaways, homeless, can't get along with their family, falling out with the neighborhood, and all of a sudden now they can go back and have a conversation with their parents. They can go back and mellow out the beef in their hood. All this was Big Meech was doing in real time, but they only want to focus on the so-called dope dealer side. He wasn't using that money just to line his pockets and to be selfish with it.
He gave it out.
Them boys will tell you that if it was a car in the driveway, the one on the end, give me the keys. I don't care if it was a Lamborghini, Ferrari, a Rolls Royce. It's the one on the end. I need to go to the whatever I'm gotta go do. Give me the keys.
Right.
They want to argue and say, "Oh no, you can't drive the Porsche." Go get the Mustang. They wasn't doing that.
Nah, no, they wasn't doing it. Everybody got a
He was
Ferrari. You with Big Meech, everybody got a Ferrari.
right
Got
because
their own
he's
Ferrari.
telling them that ain't nobody bigger than all of us together. Ain't no big guys and no little U's. If we a team, we a team, and we gonna move like this. Right? He ain't the only one that was doing what he was doing, but he was just better at it than everybody else. So you want the best person for the job to perform the function. Growing up, seeing what he was seeing, he don't like it. And how do you know he don't like it? Because he adjusted and made a compensation to correct the problem. With the other OGs that he came up under didn't never correct the problem, then it falls on the next generation to solve the problem. Beef is inherited, even if it's a spiritual beef, which is the one we fight. If you find somebody squeaky clean to be our leader, can we please go find him so I can go sit down?
Hey, right, Rod. Hey,
find somebody ain't never did no dirt that they want to follow, and he be competent to take us somewhere. I'm gonna bag his place so I can disappear. I don't like all this public BS, Elder. This is for the people. It ain't for me. I had my life how I wanted it. This ain't for me. This for the people. I'm not. I just so happen to train myself in a certain way out of curiosity. I wanted to know everything that the enemy was doing.
Right.
They already had shut the doors in my face because I ain't had no PhDs and I wasn't a member of no secret society. Oh, you definitely don't know what the hell you talking about. You ain't got no alphabets. They all shut the door in my face, told me I was crazy. So I just started talking on social media because it was the path of least resistance to get the information out the easiest.
Hey, Rod. Before we go to this next question, I need to ask you this question. Now, we know that Jeff Ford, Larry Hoover, and Dr. Malachi Z. York is locked up in the same prison. And everybody they keep posting. I think this behind what you started, the three kings walking. Three kings must walk, right? Could you break down on why the three kings must walk? Go ahead.
So they came over on the Pinta, the Nina, and the Santa Maria, 3 ships, Admiralty and Maritime. If you want to go from the Admiralty jurisdiction, you have to apply the reverse conjure. The reverse conjure of the 3 ships sailing is the 3 chiefs walking. It's the reverse of what they did to us to put us in the condition that gets us out the condition. This is why they don't want us to sing them. Right? Because they know if Malachi come home, he gonna give you the whole story and all of the dirty players in the setup. They know if Larry come home, he gonna tell you all of the dirty players that set him up. They know if Angel Bay come home, he not finna tell y'all shit. He finna start collecting soldiers from all tribes. I'm just telling you now. He don't want to talk. He feel like he said enough in the 70s that he shouldn't have to say nothing 40 years, 50 years later. That's just how he feel. So in his job, this is why he called himself El Rookin. The rook on the chessboard is the military arm of government. He was supposed to be the law of the land. This is why he was ready to take the fake government to war. But you know, it's always some Negroes that throw us under the bus. They look like us, but they ain't us.
That's right. They not like us. They not like us. Hey, look, let me ask you this, because they framed all these guys we already know that was set up. But the next question they had, because when I met you, you came in and you used I was studying the Anunnaki stuff, and you came in and say, man, you gotta watch Enlil. No, like everybody, because nobody was really talking about Enlil was the bad guy. They was saying Inky was the bad guy, and nobody really was pointing out that, oh yeah, you gotta watch this dude Enlil. He didn't really want the one that's the bad guy. Could you break down? Because somebody asked in the chat, they said, who are the Anunnakis, and is they really for us? Go ahead.
The Anunnaki is for the hybrid offspring that's on the earth, period. They only care about them. They call us their Lulu, meaning they servants. To them, they see us as pets. So when I start going in on the Anunnaki, you know, Inky feelings get hurt, but he know I'm right. So he sent me message saying, Inky. Because remember, Inky the one gave us all the keys to freedom if we activate certain stuff in the DNA. He did that behind Enlil back. Remember when Baba was saying that Inky violated the rules of Anu, the orders of Anu. Right. So he couldn't side with Inky because he went against Anu also. That's because right. he gave us what's called ascension potential. The ascension potential is governed by the solar rays. And this is the same that ties into the one drop of blood. All we have to do is learn the required self-discipline and learn to bump straight. And the UV rays is going to take care of the rest. The rays that came in from the center of the galaxy during the Muhurta, the Schumann resonance, that's going to take care of all of the upgrades necessary for us to be on the same level playing field with them mentally and spiritually. Right? They never wanted us to have that spiritual development on Earth because the Earthling natural language is telepathy, which means high spiritual power when you're talking about universal description. So they already knew that we were spiritually powerful. And if they mess around and interject their Anunnaki blood into us, it's going to make us more powerful than them. And they knew it. So Inky went ahead and infused them with what starts off as the worship gene. But the next phase after worship is a self-God complex. Right? And with this, it plays out in your character as an earthling, as an entitlement to have the things that look like royalty of the earth, what we call wealth. So you feel like you're entitled to it, but you don't know what it takes to acquire it. You don't know what the steps is, because they got all these signs and symbols posted everywhere for a reason. From your ancient petroglyphs to your hieroglyphs to your modern day store sign. All of them is feeding signs and symbols into the subconscious mind. The more of them you see, the more you begin to learn how to interpret their language, which is symbolism, which is what I did. Now you don't have no contracts to hold nobody's secret. You can come and tell the people exactly what they doing. They was using the contracts in the secret societies to keep a lot of the elders quiet under the threat of death. So even in the families, when they found out that they were still teaching it in the household, he was getting lynched. Lynchings was not just, we're going to go out tomorrow and lynch us some niggers. The lynchings was strategic. It was key elders and people that they taught too much. They know too much. Get them off the land lest they teach the rest of them. Remember, it was illegal for us to be literate. Most of the ones, the strange fruit was literate people that wouldn't go for their sharecropping terms. They wouldn't go for their um, um, management agreements. None of that. They didn't want to do any business with this foreign entity. So they had to get rid of them. Lynching wasn't just racism. We think it was racism, it was warfare. All of the elders that was coming up, they didn't charter them by astrology. They know when they coming back. Then they looking at the longitude and latitude. This is why you got to be a good navigator, because you got to read the longitude and the latitude of the birthplace. And then you got to read the stellar alignments for the birth date. And then you got certain key elements that you look for very specific people. They got all this stuff written down in secret societies and manuals and grimoires. The blood magic rituals is the worst one they used on us because it was the most potent. This is how the original King Goose spell was done, the same way as the Crispus Atticus blood right constitution spell. They was the same. They reiterated it, so if you break one, you break them both. And Enlil never lost, so we gonna have visitors coming from places that we don't even know exist. Because he been doing this stuff for a long time. But what Johnny Cash say? You can run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. You can run on for a long time. But sooner or later, gonna cut you down.
Yeah, I like Johnny Cash. I like some of his songs. Yeah. Like, don't take your guns to town. Don't take your guns to town, Bill. Don't take your guns to town. Hey, somebody got some more questions. Now it says, so how are we older than the Anunnakis? Somebody asked that question.
I don't think we are older in our modern form, but spiritually, all of the planets come from prime creator source spirit energy, and all of the people organic to a planet was coming with first creation. Some of these Anunnakis are genetic hybrids of different people that made new energy patterns for spirit. And those were what you call your younger races. Then they figured out that they can make new spirit energy by mixing different species to make more powerful beings. And then they learned how to, what they call hijack the avatar. How to walk into the avatar. What's the movie with the lady, The Sunken Place? Put you in the sunken place.
Are you talking about that it's called Get Out?
Yep. Yep. That's a Anunnaki conjure magic tool to hijack the avatar when you're in a distant place and you need to do business somewhere else.
Yeah, the master teacher talked about that, how these beings can hijack your body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this is what they call demon possession. But the whole thing is it's not really a demon possession. It's more like I got an app on my iPhone that matched the app on your Android. So I can tap into your phone, your Android, use it, and you never knew it from my iPhone. And then when you look at your phone, you be like, man, I just had a full battery. Now it's down to 7%. What happened?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you wake up, you be still fatigued. People be telling you all of this effed up stuff you did, and you be like, well, I don't remember none of that because it wasn't you. You got a whole bunch of people in prison that happened to.
Right. That's facts. They said they blacked out. Some took over. They went red. They use these terms about how it wasn't me. Then they come back to it, and like they really be feeling like, dang, I wish I could go back, and that wasn't me. You know, that type of thing.
Yep.
Hey, somebody asked, what do you think about the comment of a black Messiah and a Christ to save our people? Do you still believe in that factor, or is that even any truth to that from your perspective?
The only Messiah you're looking for is one in your family. Everybody's family got a family redeemer that's coming to break the generational curses on the rest of the family. Ain't no one chosen one. Look, anytime a guy told you he chose somebody over everybody else, that's some divide and conquer. God is not a respecter of persons. Ain't no big eyes and no little U's when you're dealing with the real God. But when you're dealing with demigods or men of renown, men of valor who feel like you less than them, they gonna tell you that it's called the ancient right of kings. Look it up. The ancient right of kings. This is what they're using to justify doing whatever they want to do to you, and you're not even classified in the same category of existence. They looking at us the way that the chimpanzee look at a monkey. They don't see us the same as them, right? Now they would be better if they seen us how the chimpanzee and the gorilla view each other, because they both know that's a dangerous motherfucker over there. I'm not finna go over there because the gorilla looking at is too many of them in that troop, and the chimpanzee looking at them Negroes too big. Right? It's gonna take the whole. We don't know what the loss is gonna be when we get done. They tell us the giant stories, but we done lived in every potentiality that you can think of. That's why you can think of it. You already did it. If you ain't never done it before, you can't have a prophecy about it. But we in cycles within cycles. We're trying to flip out the infinity loop. Right? When the spiritual energy and physical energy is closest together, we can make the flip. That's what happened at the Maherta. Right? All of these different names that's titles, people don't understand that some of
He's standing there with a book, and they saying that he was God, and I know that Elijah Muhammad was known as Robert Black when he was with Marcus Garvey, and he was working as a secretary out of his offices in Chicago. So I know that Elijah Muhammad was a conjure man out of Georgia, right? So I had to get my Georgia connection, which tied me to the Southern Christian Leadership Conference and Martin Luther King. Now remember, if you go back and look at the I Have a Dream speech, and then you go and look at the one I posted on my page where Martin is talking about going to collect the check, which that's right before the unveiling of the A-tone. I gotta go through the check, and I gotta show y'all how I had to read the signs and find out what it all mean and tie it all together, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and bring it on home, because I went over what all of this memorabilia was as a traveler, right? Now I'm a self-raised master, and I had to pick up all of my trophies, so to speak, for lack of a better way to putting it. But these was my breadcrumbs on my Hansel and Gretel journey, right? These was my breadcrumbs. And I had to get them all put together, and I had to find out what this whole suffering shit was